China's unbelievable useless mega-projects. Deserted streets, unfinished high-rises, and uninhabited apartment complexes characterize China's ghost cities built solely to stimulate economic growth. While sleek and prestigious, these ghost cities, like Kangbashi in Inner Mongolia, lay abandoned, failing to attract anyone except foreign reporters due to soaring property prices. But the highly publicized ghost cities of China are not the only frivolous and extravagant construction projects in China. Today we will explore 5 of the most useless mega-projects in China. Before we continue, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Share your thoughts about these mega-projects in the comments below. Having said that, let's get on with today's video. Number 5. Qingdao's Jiaozhubei Bridge. For China, a country with monstrous traffic jams, the world's longest sea bridge is a success on at least one front. It has no delays. The problem is that it also has a few cars. The bridge, costing around 1.4 billion euros, opened in 2014 in the eastern port city of Qingdao, traces a wide arc across a bay, from the bustling core to farm fields far from the offices and homes it is supposed to serve. 6 lanes wide and 42.5 kilometers long, enough to span the English Channel with room to spare, it raises an unsettling economic question. Has China, in spectacular fashion, reached its bridge-to-nowhere moment? Qingdao's Jiaozhubei Bridge is the largest ocean-span bridge in the world, but not because it has to be. Although breaking records, the bridge is built along the widest section of the bay and serves pretty much the same function as a pre-existing highway that runs parallel to the bridge. Furthermore, it only shortens the trip by about 10 minutes, while charging significantly higher prices. Thus, the costly construction endeavor sees little traffic. Qingdao's Jiaozhubei Bridge is certainly an achievement as far as mega-projects go. However, for native people it remains useless. At least it isn't completely abandoned like the next project on our list. Number 4. Ordos, a doomed metropolis. Located in the Inner Mongolian region, Kangbashi district of the prefecture-level city of Ordos was built to house 300,000 residents. But for many years, only around 2,000 people lived here, and much of the area gave off the vibes of a large and vacant post-apocalyptic world. This ghost city has also been featured in the famous photo series Ordos, A Failed Utopia, and Unborn Cities. Having been called a modern ghost town and a stillborn city, Ordos Kangbashi has been the recipient of an ongoing stream of criticism from myriad international media sources. The majority of this coverage has posited the place as a shining example of whatever Chinese financial crisis is the flavor of the day: housing bubbles, municipal debt, oversupply, bankrupt developers, as well as nefarious plots by local officials to artificially boost GDP to get promoted. When a conglomeration of property developers began planning a new urban center just outside the existing city of Ordos in 2003, the Kangbashi new area, Ordos seemed set to become the futuristic jewel in China's crown of city-states. However, nobody quite anticipated how quickly this new development would fall flat on its face. Deadlines weren't met, loans went unpaid, and investors pulled out before projects could be completed, leaving entire streets of unfinished buildings. The ridiculous cost of accommodation in this dream city put off many would-be inhabitants, so that even fully completed apartments became difficult to sell. As of now, it's arguably the world's strangest ghost city and remains useless for much of the country's population. Number 3. South North Water Diversion Project. China's enormous South North Water Diversion Project was designed to transport billions of cubic meters of freshwater from the Yangtze River to the northern part of China. But the project has deteriorated into a colossal failure and a massive waste of taxpayer dollars. Costing nearly $80 billion, it is one of the world's most expensive infrastructure projects. First proposed by Mao Zedong in the early 1950s, the idea was later taken up by engineers and bureaucrats as a way to solve the chronic water problems of the North. But looked at from the perspective of either economics or engineering, the megaproject, consisting of 3 separate routes of canals that snake across the country, eastern, western, and central, is a fiasco. It has already swallowed up more than $80 billion in construction money and is one of the world's most costly infrastructure projects. In some places, the water has to be pumped to lift it to higher elevations, which consumes tremendous amounts of electrical power. This makes water so expensive that nobody wants to purchase it. But even worse, of the estimated 4 to 4.8 billion cubic meters of fresh water the canals were supposed to deliver to the north annually, only a fraction may actually get there due to slow flow rates in parts of the canals. The canal transfers less than 5% of the target of 10 billion tons of water per year. After taking into consideration all the costs involved in pumping the water that does arrive in the north is so expensive, no one is willing to pay for it. This billion-dollar mega-project remains effectively useless for people all over China. Number 2. Shanghai Tower. Soaring 632 meters above the financial heart of China, Shanghai Tower is the second tallest building in the world. The striking structure features incredibly fast elevators, is home to our planet's highest observation deck, and claims to be the world's most sustainable megatall skyscraper. But despite its status as one of modern China's most iconic megaprojects, and its ambition to be the crowning symbol of the country's economic growth, Shanghai Tower has been plagued with challenges. Plans for Shanghai Tower date back to 1993. When economic reforms were introduced in the late 1980s and early 1990s, the cityscape of Shanghai began to rapidly transform to accommodate the demand for office space and put the city on the world stage as China's financial capital. A cluster of 3 eye-catching super-tall skyscrapers were planned. The Jinmao Building, the first of this trio, was completed in 1999 and was followed nearly a decade later by the Shanghai World Financial Center, but Shanghai Tower was always intended to be the jewel in the crown. Backed by a consortium of state-owned developers and primarily funded by Shanghai's municipal government, work on the $2.4 billion tower first commenced in 2008. 8 years and 128 stories later, the twisting structure was completed, stunning the world with its scale and unusual form while making the skyscraper superblock one of the densest places on Earth with more than 1 million square meters of real estate on offer. Sitting so close together, these towers invite comparison. Each one sets a monumental record, only to be dramatically outdone by its successor. But since its opening in 2016, Shanghai Tower has faced a myriad of problems, most notably an astonishingly low occupancy rate. Until as recently as 2018, the building was half empty. The spaces that were leased were let to domestic corporations, and only 30% of those had actually been able to move in. Despite pushing the very limits of engineering and being widely praised for its design, which has undoubtedly made it an iconic symbol of China, Shanghai Tower has seemingly fallen short of becoming a monument to the country's economic success, standing instead as quite the opposite. It's safe to assume that, despite the billions invested, Shanghai Tower is currently a useless megaproject. Number 1. Tiandicheng, China. Enchanted by the beauty of the French City of Light, China seems to have created its very own version of the Parisian wonder modeled after classic French architecture. Located on the eastern coast of China, some 6,000 miles away from the City of Lights, Tiandicheng is China's very own version of Paris. Also known as the Sky City, Tiandicheng is a luxury real estate in the suburban region of Hangzhou. A 12-square-mile tourist destination, it is designed to mimic the grandeur of the French architectural splendor. Around the globe, many such mysterious abandoned cities stand out as dormant town capsules. China is no stranger to building spectacular replicas of famous places. However, Tiandicheng, like many themed towns, seems to have failed miserably as it was unsuccessful in grabbing the attention of the people. This project was started in 2007 by the Chinese government as part of the preparation for the expected dearth of housing with a surge in the population in the near future. This knockoff version of Paris, despite its eerie resemblance, exists mainly as a ghost town today. Originally built for housing 10,000 residents, the city now has only 10% of that, a population of 2,000 residents. The empty streets, widely unoccupied houses, boarded-up shops bear testimony to this new-age ghost town. Scattered around a long barren landscape in the countryside with its very own 300-foot-tall Eiffel Tower, Tiandicheng is a project that was doomed to fail. The primary reason stems from its odd location and abruptly ending roads amidst hectares of farmland. Located 2 hours south of the modern metropolis of Shanghai, making it less accessible from the nearby city transportation. Decades of planning, legal trouble, and over billions have gone into the Tiandicheng Sky City project. But after all is said and done, it never caught up and remains a useless megaproject. So, what do you think about these mega projects? Do you think any of these have a shot at being useful in the future? Let us know in the comments below. That's all in today's video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content like this and turn on the notifications to never miss any exciting updates. And we'll see you in the next one.